If we do not act now to reduce emissions, we risk bequeathing to the next generation a dangerous and uncertain climatic future. A planet less suited to sustaining the beautiful natural environment and prosperous society that we now enjoy. Dangerous climate change is not an issue that can be ignored by anyone who claims to have our interests at heart. The Coalition and Federal Labor have made a number of small climate change related announcements during this election campaign, but much, much more must be done to stop dangerous climate change. The major parties continue to treat climate change as a fringe issue. Well, frankly, it deserves the same attention as the economy and as interest rates. John Howard says he'll work on cutting our greenhouse emissions, but not at the expense of our economy. Well, that's fine, but when will our political representatives recognise that climate change is the greatest threat to our economy? We've already seen 10 years of drought across this country wipe more than 4% off our GDP. And when Sir Nicholas Stern, the former World Bank economist, was here in Canberra, he called for us to reduce our greenhouse emissions by 30% by 2020. And he based that on his extensive analysis of the economic consequences of not acting on climate change. The next government of Australia must commit to a short-term emissions reduction target. The science shows us how big that cut needs to be, and we know that we as a developed nation have a moral obligation to act first and to act fast. That means we must achieve at least a 30% cut by 2020. We must not let climate change become the greatest political failure the world has ever seen. It's up to every one of us to hold our political representatives accountable for this, for the sake of our planet and for the sake of future generations. The Conservation Council organised this event to give everyone the opportunity to be part of a movement to show our political leaders just how much we are concerned about this issue. We are a small organisation. We're immensely proud of this event. We're grateful for everyone joining us today. Our crowd estimates are there are at least 8,000 people here. So that is fabulous. This has been a huge effort for a small not-for-profit organisation. It has cost us at least $50,000 to hold this event. So I ask each of you to please help us by giving what you can. There are bucket collections making their way through the crowd, or you can make your way to the stalls at the back to make a credit card donation. While you're there, there's some fabulous t-shirts you can pick up. Before I finish, I just want us to all acknowledge how many of us are here today and how great that is that we're not alone in our concern. There are walks happening right across Australia today. There are literally hundreds of thousands of Australians walking against warming today. And that's because this is not a fringe issue. This is an issue that sits at the very centre of our community's concern. I just want to finish with a few statistics that tell that story. The polling has showed that 91% of Australians want us to move away from coal-fired power and towards a renewable energy future. 86% believe the federal government should be doing more to tackle climate change. And the overwhelming majority of Australians, including more than 70% of coalition voters, want us to take our seat at the international negotiation table. They want us to be part of the only international framework to address this global issue. They want us to ratify the Kyoto Protocol. So today we're asking you to vote for climate change. There's people walking around with ballots. On your way out, you can cast your vote for climate change. But thank you all so much for being part of this year's walk. Now we're going to walk, and we're going to start up at this side, my right-hand side. We're going to head out along London Circuit, down Acuna Street, down Bunda Street. I'm sure you won't get lost. There's 8,000 people to follow. We're coming back here. When you get back here, we're going to have some fabulous bands. We've got Tahoe and the Cashews. We've got information stalls. We've got T-shirts for sale. So I hope to see you all back here. But thank you so much for being here. Thank you.